Welcome to the Dice Tower, a series of video reviews about board and card games. Here are your hosts, Tom Vassell and Sam Healy.
All right, folks, I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Sam Healy. Welcome back, everyone.
And the greatest event in the history of movies.
No, this isn't.
In movies.
I'm hesitant to even say that.
Yeah, it's because you're a Star Wars fan.
Yes.
But for some of us, Infinity War, which by the time you watch, no, we haven't watched it yet.
No,
we got
we
a
haven't
day.
watched it.
Oh, I'm excited. But, okay, so Infinity War's coming out. Marvel's pulling out all the stops. We know that. It's one of the most expensive movies ever made, mostly because they've hired every actor in Hollywood to be in it.
Pretty much.
And the main bad guy is Thanos, who showed up. Last night I read part of the Infinity Gauntlet to kind of prep myself. I'm hoping in the movie that he is a good villain, because Marvel movies kind of pale on their villain side.
That's almost like an idiosyncrasy. No, it's a oxymoron. He's a good villain.
Not a nice villain. A well-acted villain. A villain that we feel like is going to destroy everything.
Josh Brolin's a pretty good actor, so.
He is.
So he should be fine.
He's short, though. I was watching the thing. Okay, anyway. So this is about that. You are the Avengers, or the Doctor Strange team, or the Guardians of the Galaxy, or the Wakandians fighting off Thanos in this cooperative game, which you know Thanos is in it, because not only is he on the cover, but it comes with this giant miniature, too. Here's how it plays. Each player is going to take control of one of the teams. We have the Avengers, the Sanctum Sanctorum, Doctor Strange's crew, Wakanda, and Nowhere. And depending on which one you take, let's say, for example, I take the Guardians of the Galaxy, you will start with a team leader. In this case, my team leader is Gamora, and I'll put both of these in front of me. Thanos, this big figure, is placed here in the middle of the circle, facing one of three sectors. And on the outside here, you're going to randomly place cards from a deck of cards. This deck of cards is going to include bad guys. So you can see here is a General Outrider, a Proxima Midnight, and it's also going to include different heroes. So we got Shuri, and we have the Quinjet, and Hulk, and the Statesman, and War Machine, and the Collector, etc., etc. So you have these different cards that are going to be placed around here. Now, there are a couple ways that you guys can lose. You do not want to let Thanos get all the Infinity Stones. You'll lose. 10 heroes die, you'll lose. How do you win? You need to kill 7 of the bad guys, and before Thanos gets all the Infinity Stones. At the beginning of a player's turn, they're going to roll these 2 dice here. But before they do that, they're going to take the symbol of their team. So let's say, for example, I was the Wakandian team, and pick one of the 3 sectors to go into. They will then roll these dice. Now, there's 2 different dice here. The first one shows which Infinity Stone gets a marker placed on it. That's a bad thing. So if I rolled the green one, I'd put the marker up here. If one of these gets completely filled with markers, we flip it over. Thanos gets that gem, and then in the future, whenever you roll the red, something bad is going to happen. So if I roll a red in the future, damage can't be removed from heroes this turn. Bonus tokens can't be used this turn. The other die is going to do something else depending on what you roll. If you roll this, that means you roll the Infinity Stone a second time. If you roll this, it means rotate Thanos either to the right or to the left to a different sector. And if you roll the Gauntlet, that means all the enemies who are not in the sector where Thanos is are going to attack and do something bad. After that, the sector Thanos is in, he's going to attack. He's going to do 1 damage to each hero in that sector. And if your team marker's in that sector, each hero you have in front of you will take a damage too. Any bad guys in that sector will activate. So for example, this guy adds 1 damage to all red or purple heroes. Black Widow's red, so we added damage to her. If someone gets completely filled with damage at the end of a turn, they will be discarded. You lose 10 heroes, remember, you lose. Now, when that's done, then the player is going to work on the sector that they are in. So let's go here closer and take a look at this particular sector. I'm going to move the cards here so you can see them. And you can see that there are 3 different there's 2 heroes and there's 1 villain that are in this particular sector. So you're going to roll dice based on your card. So let's pretend I'm still using the Guardians of the Galaxy. I get 3 red dice and 1 black dice. Now on the dice, there are different symbols. Each die has one of every symbol, but then it has a third symbol that there is one or two instances of. It shows you here. The symbols are attack, power, cosmic, mystical energy, things like that. So I will roll these dice. So here I rolled an attack, 2 triangles, and a cube. So I have to assign at least one of these dice or I lose it. So I'm looking here, okay, what am I going to do? Well, I could assign the 2 triangles here to vision and the cube, but that means I better roll a cube with this red die, which is a 1 out of 6 chance. Or I could put 1 attack on Black Widow and re-roll. All right, well, I'm feeling a little bit. I got the planet on this one. And now I'm going to put an attack here and roll this one again. I rolled a planet, which unfortunately, nothing happens. I do nothing. That was a bad roll. Let's try it again. Here I do 2 damage and 2 damage. So I could put it on Black Widow. I think I'll do that. And then I'll re-roll again. I got a double planet. And then I re-roll again. Got a single attack. Not enough to hurt the General Outrider. But at least I got Black Widow. When you completely finish a hero, you will take that hero and put them in front of you. So in the future with her, I can now pay 2 damage if I roll them on a dice, draw a bonus token, and remove a damage from a hero. If I had gotten vision once per turn, I could change these 2 symbols to any face. If I got Bucky Barnes, if I have another blue hero on my team, I get to roll an extra blue die every turn. With Wong, I get an extra re-roll without having to assign dice. So getting these people is helpful. Also, if you manage to get your color, Gamora says if you have another purple hero on a team, you get to roll an extra black or red die. So the more heroes, the more powerful you become. Hitting a bad guy, if you fill up the dice in them, you do 1 damage. You do enough damage, you'll remove them from play. You also will get a bonus token. There's a pile of bonus tokens, and these tokens you'll be able to use in the future. They give you like a specific symbol, or 1 turn I get an extra black die for this one, or remove 1 counter from an Infinity Stone. Bonus tokens can be incredibly useful. After you're done with that, it is the next person's turn, and we're going to keep going until Thanos, and you fill in all the open card spots here, until Thanos gets all those gems. And you can see as he gets these gems here, once he gets all the gems, the players lose the game, unless you've taken out 7 of the 10 villains in the deck first. Okay, so component quality, you do not need this figure.
No, you don't need him at all. And it is pre-painted.
Well, I don't care about that. I would actually have been annoyed. There's no way they would sell a game like this where the guy is not pre-painted, right? If you got them, you have to put them together.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? That's not the audience this game is for.
True, absolutely. I mean, it's pre-painted. It's not bad, but it could have been better.
Okay, that didn't even occur to me. But I actually liked having the big Thanos there because it kind of gives you this is this big guy that you're fighting against.
Right.
But the coolest part of this is that Infinity Gauntlet. Putting the stones in there, they look really cool. They look like you're slowly getting the stones. And that was a neat thing. I thought the artwork was pretty cool, although we noticed a few things like they covered up Chris Pratt's face, and we wondered if maybe they didn't get the license for that. I think Hawkeye's not in the game.
Right.
Or someone's not in the game. I forget who it is. But the dice are really good quality.
Yeah, they're a little bit more blocky than I like them to be. I like them to have a little bit more rounded edges, but that's just a personal thing with me specifically. The dice are really good shape.
I think for the price point, though, you're getting a pretty good deal here. And since you're going to be rolling these dice so often and moving these things around, it needed to be decent quality, and it is.
That's true, yeah.
So it's a co-op game.
Yes.
It's a
full co-op.
Yeah, right. There's no trade or nothing.
Right.
And it's based on the Avengers, for sure. I don't think if there's any spoilers for the movie, it's like, here's some of the villains.
Well, we do know that just from, scuttlebutt around the office back at the gathering, that there are some promos that they had to hold back until the movie gets released, because the promos apparently have spoilers in them.
But I still think it's probably just minor, like there's characters in here.
Yeah, probably so.
And Loki is in this game as a hero.
Yeah.
So anyway, who knows? But again, don't worry about that playing this game. So the main mechanism in this game, Yahtzee-ish. Roll dice,
Very much so.
put them out. The slight difference is you can roll as many times as you want, as long as you put out at least one die per turn.
Right. But I mean, you're going to run out of dice to be able to put out. So there is a definite end to what you can and can't do.
Well, what did you think about that mechanism?
I didn't mind it. I mean, I think it's ultimately for the audience that this is for. That's a great mechanism to have because it is a widely familiar and a widely accepted mechanism for games. Roll some dice, pick 1 or 2 or 3 that you want to keep, roll them again, and do the same thing over and over and over again. I think that's a great choice to have in a game like this because it takes what could be kind of a convoluted atmosphere, a chaotic atmosphere, and simplifies it.
Yeah, and I also felt like the rolling makes sense. Some people have strength dice, some people have magic dice, and you need different things to beat the bad guys. Mm-hmm. You need different things to add people. The teams, you can put anyone on your team, but having people who are part of your team works better. Now, I like this game a lot. I will say there is a good chunk of randomness in it. Not just on the rolling of the dice, from anything from we rolled the green infinity stone 6 times in a row.
Right.
To, the rolling the dice and not getting the combination you want. But even more so the deck of cards. Sometimes there's a pile of monsters up there, bad guys.
I remember a few times playing Shadows over Camelot that the shuffling of the deck meant everything. And I think that's something that this game suffers from.
In one of those games.
Yeah, you were in more than one of them probably.
I almost would say I think if I was playing this game with people first time, I would take half the bad guys. I'd take the bad guys
leave
out.
Them out?
No, I wouldn't leave them out. I'd take half the bad guys out, all 10 bad guys out, and shuffle 5 in the top half of the deck and 5 in the bottom half. Just so they were distributed a little bit easier.
I guess. That might make it, I don't know, would that make it too simple?
You could still get a whole pile out there. But I played one game where 5 bad guys showed up on turn 1. Yeah, no.
Yes.
Then you're not going to win. Well, I mean, you could possibly, but they're going to beat up on you so much. Just like if you draw no bad guys for the first couple turns, then the only person you're fighting is Thanos, and he's not that hard right away, and you can quick recruit a bunch of people and then just wail on the bad guys.
That's true.
So it's kind of... There's that randomness. But I'll tell you why it doesn't bother me as much as that, because the game isn't that long. No. It's like half an hour. It says 45 minutes. It depends how... 45 minutes is if you win.
Yeah, that's true. And that actually is how you can gauge how people are doing in the game. How long have they been sitting over there? They've been there for about 40 minutes. Oh, they're doing well. How long have they been sitting there? Well, they're done and it took 20 minutes. Oh.
But you know what? I think that's a good thing. I don't know that I would want to play this and you're like, we still got 20 minutes to go, but we can't win.
True.
You're going to lose or you're going to keep playing.
Yeah, that's true.
What did you think about the randomness? Did it bug you?
Well, it didn't really bug me. I guess I kind of expected it for this level of game. It's not really a game that's, I think, is supposed to be ultimately always solvable, if that makes any sense.
Right.
It's just one of those kinds of games that, you hedge your bets. Maybe you're going to do good. Maybe you're not going to do good. It depends on how you roll the dice. Effective usage of the dice. You definitely cannot just go in there and just want to get all of your team members. If all 4 or 5 of you or whatever, it's only a 4-player game. Sorry. If only if all 4 of you are going to get your people for your team, you're in trouble. You
got to fight the bad guys.
You have to fight the bad guys. Sometimes you have to kind of pick and choose from round to round. Okay, so who's going to go after the heroes? Who's going to go after the bad guys? And you kind of have to have that dialogue around the table. Otherwise, you're just going to get stuck in that rut of, whoa, I really need this person on my team so I can do better next time. And then once you have that person on your team, oh, wow, look who else came out. I'm going to get them too. You can't do that. You just won't have any chance at winning. So...
I've also noticed...
I don't mind the randomness.
Every game I played of this, somebody was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It might not be you, though.
At least one team gets
I
really
feel like,
buff.
oh, look, I'm rolling this, man. Are you still rolling your original 4 dice? Oh.
Right. Yeah, no, it did have that as well, where, one person just rolls better than everybody else. And it's not like they're, some innate ability that they have. It's just that that's the way it works out sometimes, which isn't a bad thing. You just have to kind of tailor what you do on your turn based on what you can do, and not get caught envying somebody else and trying to emulate them.
It's a great family game. I'm going to give it 1 Infinity Gauntlet up. No, 1.5. Sorry.
1.5.
1.5. I actually really liked it. 1.5 Infinity Gauntlets
really
up.
Want Thanos to win?
No. Well, I want him to do well enough that it's not a walk in the park. I think it's great for families. I think that it's basically PG. It's not that dark and grim. Your heroes might get knocked out or die. I don't even know what the rulebook says if they die or whatever. But there's no blood, no guts, nothing. I mean, and you can play with all your heroes, from Spider-Man to the Guardians of the Galaxy to Iron Man, Captain America. So that's all in there, to the Wakandians.
I'm sorry, Iron Spider, not Spider-Man.
That's right, Sony. But I like it a lot.
Yeah, I did too. I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it 1.5 Infinity Gems up. Not the whole gauntlet. I mean, that's not good. But
I'm not afraid of Thanos.
Yeah, not yet. Look around. But I did enjoy it. I think it's great for the market that it's meant for, and I think this is one that my kids will enjoy playing. It's a game that you can play, ultimately do bad at, and then want to play it again. It's just those kinds of games that are appealing to me sometimes. Even though you got your rear end handed to you, you still want to play it again and try to do better. And that's cool when a game does that.
Well, there you go. Thanos Rising. I'm Tom Vassell.
Sam Healy. See you on the flip side, folks.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.